welcome to the Bougie Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Yvette, and as always, I am so happy that you're here. I think I'm going to change that to shocked because I'm shocked that you're here. I'm happy that you're here too. Now that you're here, if you can, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. I am so close to hitting 500 subscribers on YouTube. I will be so excited when I get there. I think I might have a party or do something. I don't know. It's going to be a big deal. But if you can help me reach that goal, that would be freaking awesome. Also, you can follow me on social media at beautysports.com. I have a website and it should be back on tomorrow. Everything should be brand new and launched. So make sure you check that out at beautysports.com. Another couple of quick things I want to get out. Next week, May 11th, we're going live. Bougie Sports, we're going live on the road, downtown Cleveland, West Bank Golf Club. You don't have to golf. It's one of those simulation places. But we're going to dress the part. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hold on a second. I need these cute little tee shots, with the play on tee. I know, it's that kind of stuff. I mean, so the whole squad is going to be there. So come say hi. That's May 11th, 6 p.m. I don't know if I said that. Downtown Cleveland, West Bank Golf Club. Let me see. Anything else I have to get out? I will get it in during the show. Like I told the guys earlier, if I have to get it in, I will get it in. I get it in at the beginning, at the end, and all the way in. Speaking of the guys, I'm so excited about the show. Couldn't wait for this show. This is the first show after the NFL draft. And, to me, the NFL draft, that's the kickoff of the football season because that's when the rosters are pretty set. So I'm excited about that. And I couldn't have two more extra guests with me today for our extra AF show. Chuck Bass and HoovTube. Come Hooved, come Tube. Doesn't matter. Welcome, guys.
We're ready,
guys.
We are ready.
Awesome.
Let's go to Vegas for your 500th subscriber. How about that?
Yeah, I love it. Champagne, everything.
I'll hit up my boy Gardner Minshew. We'll be sure, brothers. I think he can get us in. He can get us in at a Tao. Will be fun.
You know what would really be extra AF if like Billy Madison, I started celebrating that for every 500 subscribers. I had a huge party for myself, over the top. You know what I mean?
That's one of the best ideas I've ever heard in my life. Is just escalating parties for every little subscriber milestone. I'm gonna steal that idea. Actually, I'm sorry.
Exactly. But
when are you gonna get to the Gatsby party?
Right.
What number is that?
100%.
Exactly. Well, I think it would only work if we did it 500, then 575. Because as the rate that my subscribers come, I'd like to have a party once a year. So 500, 550. Then next year, whatever. We'll take it from there. Small steps. Guys.
I love it. I love it.
The one thing that did not have small steps is the 24 NFL draft. It delivered. I thought it delivered. I'm a huge fan of the draft. What about you, Chuck? Are you obviously? Look who I'm talking to. I forget. I'm not talking to Browns fans. I'm talking to other fans, football nerds, and but big fans of the draft, guys.
I love the draft because I say all year that I could do the jobs of these NFL GMs and their scouts and the guys in their front offices. The only difference between me and them is I don't have an uncle that worked in the NFL. That's about the only thing. And a lot of the teams proved us right this weekend. I was dying laughing at some of these picks. They were some of the worst, not just in the draft, but all time. And I'm really happy we get to get on camera and slam them today while I'm wearing the shield, while I've got my man Hoov here ready to just tear it up with me. Thank you for having me on. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited about this because the draft. I was there. I feel honestly a little smarter. I feel a little smarter coming back after the draft. I walked by Bill Belichick with the hood on, with right next to Pat McAfee. I feel like through osmosis, I'm a little smarter just walking that close to Bill. So AJ Hawk walked right past me. Tom Pelissero was right behind me. I was trying not to fanboy the whole time. All right.
Why not? I think stand it out.
Ian Rappaport was on the phone at one point for an event. And he was on the phone for 30 minutes at this event. And I'm like, all right, something's about to break. And sure enough, Amon-Ra St. Brown extension, Penny Sewell extension. I'm like, this is so cool. So like it's just time of the year that things are starting to spice up. We're getting excited. We're getting extra. Let's do it.
Right. Love it.
Yes. LFG. And I've been to several drafts because, as a Browns fan, that was, we're always in the first round, first 2 or 3 picks for a lot of years. So it was always really fun. And just me to see how every year it's just getting bigger and bigger and becoming an event. And I love to see it because it's cool and it's exciting. And it brings attention and money to the different cities. This year, Detroit, it looked like it was amazing. The vibe looked awesome. I mean, Eminem started off. I mean, come on. We knew he was going to be there. I mean, if he wasn't there, I mean, come on.
Yeah, they really figured out how to like turn it into one of the best events of the year. They've got it spaced out to almost, 3 days now. I've heard that they've talked of expanding each pick into a day. So like Thursday is first round, and then like the next Monday is the 5th round. Like just keep it going. Let us party. Let us have fun all weekend long. They're bringing on crazy people to announce picks. Detroit's going nuts. I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, the camaraderie of Detroit was just absolutely phenomenal. Like just the atmosphere, like everything. The first day, there was a lot of walking. I'll be honest. I was pretty sore. My feet were pretty sore after the first day, but they had everything like pretty spaced out, and it was really nice. And like they cleaned it up really well. And I can't say enough great things about Detroit and their hosting of these. So next year it's in Green Bay in my home state of Wisconsin. So all I have to do is take a 3-hour car ride up to Green Bay. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'm back next year for the trip.
Nice.
Awesome. I mean, for us, unfortunately, in Cleveland, I think Cleveland was one of the worst drafts because we were the first draft post-COVID, and the COVID protocols were still in place. So the recruits didn't even come. It was a whole different vibe. And it makes me sad because every time I say that, I feel bad for the people of Cleveland that went and had a lot of fun, because it was a lot of fun. Yeah. But it was not the same. Because the people weren't there, because it was, it was one after COVID, and it was all weird.
It's tough.
It was still in that weird
you also
state,
have to you have to catch a town at the right time. Like the vibes already before the draft on Detroit were immaculate. Dan Campbell is like making me cry and laugh every time I see him on screen. Brad Holmes making fire picks, and everybody in Detroit is just riding the wave. If it's okay with you guys, I'm going to rip some bourbon out of a banana.
Rip it. Hey. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just felt like I needed to party a little bit.
No, it's that time. Listen, this isn't a special occasion, you guys. An awesome special occasion. So, anyways, NFL draft, crazy, history making, 6 quarterbacks. How many offensive people? 9? I don't know. A lot. Everyone.
14. 14 in a row.
Nuts. A lot of the things we didn't know, a lot of the things, But before we talk about that, I'm going to bring up a slideshow, ladies and gents, and please bear with me, because you know how I roll with these things. Okay, so this is the first one, and I'm going to hurry up and press pause. It'll probably keep going, then I'll be like, eek, 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 and then I'll say, hold on, here it goes. Draft night, extra as fuck, did that. That's all. Let's go ahead and press pause. Let's start here at the top. Chicago. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if you're going to believe this or not, but I kind of knew this going into it, that Chicago was going to take Caleb. Listen, I don't have anybody in the business telling me things. I just had a hunch. No shock there.
You get it in.
Yes, I told you guys. I told you guys. What was maybe a little bit more surprising is that they also acquired Rome Odunze. So pretty stacked there in Chicago. What do you guys think with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then with Odunze over there? Okay, I don't believe you guys if you said you thought Caleb Williams was going to go number 1. So we won't talk about that one. But what did you guys think about this other pick and them taking another rookie in after Keenan Allen?
Hoov, you set it up, and then I'll slam it down.
All right. So for me, I like the way that they're forming this wide receiver group. It's very similar. It's almost like Seattle plus. Like you're seeing D Moore, Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen, very similar to Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and JSN. But in my opinion, this wide receiver core is just so much better. So there's so much room for each of those receivers in fantasy and for their value at ADP. Like, I'm still not worried about Rome Odunze. The fact that he's such a great route runner and he's going to be learning on the NFL level from Keenan Allen, an awesome NFL route runner, on how to develop and do it on that pedestal. I just can't say enough about great things about Rome Odunze, especially being at the draft and watching him. He was such a great athlete, and it was this Special Olympics event that started out the weekend, and him, Caleb Williams, Drake May were like honestly like three of the most hands-on athletes a part of that event. So the characters there, Caleb Williams has unlimited character as well. So I can't say enough great things about Rome Odunze, and I feel like they're going to be very special in Chicago.
Yeah, I could not agree more. They got a quarterback who would have been the first quarterback taken in 9 of the last 10 drafts. And they got a wide receiver who would have been the first wide receiver taken in 9 of the last 10 drafts, with really Trevor Lawrence and Jamar Chase maybe being the only ones that would have rubbed them out. I mean, these are A-plus premium ready day one talents. And they fall into a situation where not a ton is going to be asked of them off of the bat. You know, Caleb Williams comes into the best situation a first overall pick has come into than I can ever remember. And Rome Odunze gets to come in and, like Hoov said, you know, learn under DJ Moore, learn under Keenan Allen. But this is also like one of the most, if not the most pro-ready wide receivers in the class. You know, the only thing missing from his game, if there is anything, is that kind of unbelievable playmaking explosion that you see from Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors. But that's nitpicky stuff. You know, people are going to compare him a lot to JSN, who went to the Seahawks last year and didn't see a ton of playing time. But JSN was limited in what he's capable to do. He's more of a slot guy. Odunze can do everything. He was the first wide receiver to have a perfect green route tree on reception perception. He's going to be battling Keenan Allen for those spots when they have two wide receivers on the field. He won't be coming off as often as people probably think. I'm jazzed up.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys.
The only thing that I have issue with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, my thing is, if let's say Neighbors and Marvin Harrison were not in this draft, would Rome Odunze be the number one wide receiver any other year without these other two guys?
Yeah,
Easily.
absolutely. He'd be wearing a Cardinals jersey right now, without a doubt.
I was really hoping that the Cardinals actually traded, if they were going to move down with the Vikings, move down to 11, eventually move back up into 8, and then they would have actually got Rome Odunze. So it's very, very close for me. All three could be very special on the NFL level. The whole term generational is kind of overused, but they all have such value in their own right. So definitely draft them in fantasy if you're listening.
Yeah, they're going to be, you know, watch what happens to their ADP, because I think you're going to have half the people are going to say there's too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't want to be a part of this. And then a lot of people are going to say, I want anything I can to get a piece of the Chicago offense. You know, I've seen Odunze still go ahead of Keenan Allen in some, best ball drafts, which I think is a little, that's a little pump the brakes maybe a little bit. Keenan Allen is still a very good player, maybe not peak, but still very good. So a lot to be excited about here.
It's a spicy take, but it's also I could see the argument where you would take him as when you're talking about ADP. I mean, Odunze could maybe have the best ADP out of those three receivers. Don't you guys think? Where he lands, and you never know. There might even be like that rookie on rookie type of relationship in that brohood, where maybe Caleb Williams wants to feed him the ball because of that. You know, so I don't know. It's very, very interesting, right?
It's tricky for him. I will say, just to close that out, it's tricky for him because he's really the only rookie wide receiver that got drafted early that isn't clearly the number one receiver on his team already, or at least like 1B. So that part's a little tough, but I mean, that's only going to push him down the board more, and we're going to be able to scoop him up and have some fun.
The only thing I'm a little worried about is the fact that Seattle's is their offensive coordinator. Someone that JSN wasn't a fan of, he's now in Chicago and is going to be helping Rome Odunze develop. And I understand where people are coming from, saying like Caleb Williams is going to the best offense like a rookie quarterback could go to, but then there's also like hiccups, like Matt Eberflus is still the head coach, and like we don't know if the offensive coordinator is gonna get the most out of these guys. So like there's reason to be cautious, but don't overthink it. Rome Odunze is special. So but Cole Kmet, I've been staring at Cole Kmet the last few minutes. I don't know if I'd buy every piece of the Chicago Bears offense, but we'll see.
Interesting looking kid.
Like, I mean, I feel like he's on an island by himself now. Who is he even worth looking at? And like, let's just say like a redraft league or something. Because there are so many weapons and there are other areas that he might. Because I think Cole Kmet, he did pretty good like last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a pretty good. He's got a nice little connection with the organization and with Justin Fields, but I mean, he's just going to plummet in the target order when it comes to the rest of these guys and what they have on the field. It wasn't really a position that they featured much in Seattle, like Hoove mentioned. Shane Waldron coming back over, and even when Shane Waldron was with the Rams, just never featured the tight end that much. And Cole Kmet isn't really the talented player that can rise above that. So maybe a deeper flyer, maybe a tight end too, just depending on what you're looking at. But, he's going around guys like Dalton Schultz, Pat Freiermuth, guys where you're kind of wondering, like, what is this offense even going to look like? So he's priced appropriately.
With Waldron, I think he Kmet his match.
That's very Cole of you.
Oh, here you go. Hey.
Early. Wait, hold on, you guys. It's a long show here. We're just at the beginning here. Save something.
Nice clutch.
All right.
Coming up next, we have Washington took Jaden Daniels. I don't know why. I guess this was not that big of a shock, but I thought there could be an argument for Drake May. I thought maybe that because everyone thought that Jaden Daniels was the guy, that maybe Drake May was the guy, because that's how things really work. But looks like Washington did take the Heisman Trophy winner there in Jaden Daniels. Do you guys think that they gained a trophy there with do you guys see how I did that? That's how I said trophy, and then I had that right there. There he is with his
look at this
Heisman
Look at this pro producer and showrunner wearing multiple hats at once. I could never. I just messed stuff up on my show. I'll jump on this one first. This is the pick I've done the most 180 on because I was really skeptical of what this kid could do in the pros long term, and I actually still am pretty skeptical about that. But in the short term, this is such a fantasy smash. Like, I don't care about 5 years from now. I'm taking him in redraft. I'm taking him in single QB leagues. He checks every box that you could want for like immediate short-term production. He throws fireballs downfield. He's ridiculously fast. He bails pretty quickly and looks to scramble like as soon as somebody gets within range of spreading COVID to him. And he goes into a team with Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, they're just going to throw 4 verts downfield all day, and that's what he's best at. So, let's get some 50-yard bombs to Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. Like, I'm okay if he's not taking 5-yarders to Jamison Crowder. I don't want that anyways. And if you want to be a Josh Allen, you want to be a Jalen Hurts, you have to have that running production, and he just oozes it. I'm very excited for this.
But the offensive line isn't there. And he's like, or you're not like, and
the offensive line, they could have invested a little bit more. They did try to address it in the offseason, but I don't think they did a great job. And I don't really they had the most picks in the top 100, and I don't think they really knocked it out of the park like they could. But hey, that just means he's running more. And if he can outrun some of these defenders, I'll take it.
Right. I want to know your thoughts on him. Yeah.
My comp for Jaden Daniels is C. Stroud with mobility. And the fact that right now the offensive line is not going to be great. If you're just getting just right now, that's still going to be someone that the way that he reads a defense, he's going to know when to give the ball to Terry McLaurin. He's going to know when to give the ball to Jahan Dotson. He's going to know when to give the ball to Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, Luke McCaffrey. They're feeding him the right weapons, very similar to C. Stroud. So like if he can make plays happen, once down the road they start building that offensive line, then you can start seeing that he has that talent with his legs. Well, as long as they could protect him enough throughout the year that he doesn't get hurt, like a Joe Burrow his rookie year, I think that he could be really special. Really right off the bat.
There's a lot of comparison to Anthony Richardson, and because they have a lot of that type of play where, you know, he's gonna get sacked a lot. He might get injured, and he's a tall guy, but he's kind of small. I love him. Let me just say this. I just watched something on him with Kevin Hart. I was not that into him. I liked Dre May better. And now after watching that, and I learned a little bit more about Jaden Daniels, like how he started from, I think, at Arizona and then moved to LSU. No. Yeah, right? And then he went to LSU.
Yeah, Arizona State and then LSU.
He was the only person to play as a freshman there, correct?
Well, yes,
I watched Kevin Hart yesterday. And that was actually pretty good. And they go, I loved it. I'm all about learning. I'm like the Bo Callahan type of person. That's how I play the game. That's why people can't really listen to me. I'm all about I like who I like, and I don't like who I don't like. And to me, when I see like a person's personality, it does play a lot on me. And I loved his personality. I loved what he had to say. I do think he might be one of the worst, like went into the worst position. I don't know. We'll get more into it.
No,
you're right.
You're right as far as like landing spots. Like it's not a dream spot. It's probably not even a top 20 spot. But as far as, they do have a little bit to work with. They gave him a really athletic tight end that they drafted in Ben Sinnott. That could be fun too. But like when you talk about Jaden Daniels, the concern is like, I hope he lasts. They don't really have a lot to nitpick about his game. He doesn't throw over the middle as much as you would like, which was a knock on Justin Fields. But hey, for all the lack of success that Justin Fields had in the passing game, he was a top 6 quarterback in fantasy on the field when he played. And that kind of feels like what eventually this will settle into. And that's not even talking about the arm talent that, Jaden Daniels possesses. So feeling hot, feeling spicy.
Yeah,
I can see Jaden Daniels QB1 in most leagues at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm feeling him. All right, so let's talk about the one that I thought was going to go number 2, and I'm not going to say. Well, I'm going to say it's going to be May because I've seen it so many times.
Oh, there it is.
But it's going to be May.
It's gonna be May.
Coming out to the New England Patriots, a Bill Belichick list. Let's just say, which is so weird. This is my slide for Drake May. Poor Drake May. Who does he get there but Juju Smith-Schuster? I hate me some Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm a hater. And he was on the Steelers TikToks. And there's him doing TikToks. And I don't.
That's what I love about you. I love about you, Cleveland Browners, is that nobody holds a grudge like a Cleveland Browns fan. You all are spurned for life with these kids.
That is so true. Yeah.
I bet you out of all the Transformers, like you just like hate on Bumblebee the most because you're like Steelers colors can't do it. My bad.
Bumblebee bitch.
I wouldn't even be Beatrice Kiddo on Kill Bill because of the yellow and black suit, and I love me some Uma Thurman and Taryn.
I respect it.
And she's tall, and I think I would pull that off so well. But it's the yellow and black tracksuit for me. I just can't do it. So yeah, I'm that type of fan there. I'm totally.
There's a yellow and black suit like that on Fashion Nova that I really was thinking about copping. It was like leather, and I'm like, I don't know if I could pull off that much yellow. Yellow is a hard color to pull off. But we're on the show to talk about
the tan,
this is a fashion,
which is annoying. Because we have orange and brown, and we have the best colors ever. But anyways, this is the Extra AF show. Yes, Drake May, we got Jacoby Brissett there. Speaking of the Browns, we love Jacoby Brissett. So Drake May, do you guys even see him taking the field this year, or is this someone going to sit a year behind Jacoby Brissett?
I'll let Hoov jump on this one.
I'll take the reins on this. So
go away.
I think that they're going to be put in a predicament. That they are going to start him just because the fans are going to be wanting it so much. Like you're not going to be asking. The fans aren't going to be demanding for Jacoby Brissett as good as he showed that he could be. I think that I think he deserves it just because with Drake May, what he was doing, I was more of a fan of JJ McCarthy going to the Patriots over Drake May because JJ McCarthy, the way that he reads the field, like he makes the smartest play every time. Drake May, like he'll make the smart play, but he'll make the second best play.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's not wrong. It could be better. It's like the Wonder Woman, the second Wonder Woman. Life is good, but it could be better. That's Drake May. And so I think that there's still room for growth with his development. And if you wanted to do it the right way, you'd have him sit. But I think that they're going to start him, and it could hurt his development. But I'm also a big fan of Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. So we'll see. Maybe he's the guy that pulls the best out of them. So I'm not sure.
Is this the first podcast to drop a Wonder Woman 1984 quote live on air? Because I didn't even think that's got to be a record broken in some way, shape, or form.
I'm here for it. I like it.
Yeah, that rocks. I'll second that too, and kind of talk about the thing that doesn't scare me is Jacoby Brissett, who is a pro's pro and he can perform to an extent, but people point to Geno Smith and they're like, look how Geno emerged late in his career, yada yada yada. Like Jacoby has had chances. He's been on a lot of teams and he's been given the starting gig a few times and he hasn't really held on to it. So I think it'll be a transition, almost at the pace that people talk about what sitting behind Alex Smith did for Patrick Mahomes, and it's not always a one-to-one comparison because these guys are so different. But I look at what Drake May had to do last year, and Hoof talked about some of the decision-making, and that's something he struggled with. And you might be able to attribute some of that with guys who feel like they have to do it all, which he had to do more with less than just about any quarterback coming out last year. He's a toolsy dude. He is like Justin Herbert with more athleticism. I just don't, they didn't really surround him with guys that are going to help immediately. We're talking about 2 or 3 years down the line, maybe before this is something that's really popping off. But I do like that. And, you might be able to back me up here, Yvette. They bring in Alex Van Pelt, and I would love to know the Cleveland fans' perspective on them bringing over the Browns OC and kind of mixing in some run game, some heavy play action, kind of make life easy on him coming out of the gate. How do you feel about that?
We love us some AVP up in Cleveland, and I think that what that would really help the most is Ramondre Stevenson, who may be the only person on the New England Patriots that I would even think about touching in a fantasy football perspective.
It's tricky.
He doesn't have anything to work with. I can't even. I'm trying to think of who's the second wide which is so weird, but it is what it is. Everybody needs to take their turn at the bottom.
Yeah, they're probably looking at some combination throughout the year. I would guess by week 8 or 9, they're looking at Pop Douglas, Polk, maybe some Baker mixed in, maybe run Hunter Henry. Will probably get fed a decent amount. But if you're looking at this through a dynasty lens, if anybody out there plays dynasty, situations can change overnight. This is arguably the most talented quarterback in the draft after Caleb Williams. I mean, we're just talking about Chicago, right? Literally a calendar year before last year's draft, or not last year's draft, a calendar year ago, right before the draft, the Bears had Darnell Mooney and Dante Pettis as their starting wide receivers, and we just waxed poetic about DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze. It'll come. That stuff will come. Bet on the talent here.
Well, I'm glad that you pointed out the Herbert point earlier with May, was because people almost forget Herbert win the job right away. Tyrod Taylor was going to start, but then with the whole jab, he ended up getting hurt, and Herbert took the job and ran with it. So it's not the worst thing in the world if he's not the day one starter in New England. So people should be more of an advocate on this for the better of his development.
Agreed.
All right.
What were you going to say, Yvette?
I was going to say OH. Marvin Harrison.
That feels dirty. I don't know if I could do that. That doesn't feel real.
Well, I'm sure you won't feel dirty taking Marvin Harrison anywhere. So speaking of first wide receiver off the board, Arizona. In a way, because I was reading too much and watching too much, I thought maybe Arizona might trade down. but they didn't, and they did take the best guy, the stud, Marvis Harris Jr.
A stud.
I mean, talk about
so cool too.
Kyler Murray. I think that he can have the potential to be a top 10 wide receiver at the end of the year. Are you guys as high on him, or am I OHing too much? IOing.
No,
I'm just high in general.
Hoov stays high. I'm trying to catch up to the level. It's not always as easy for old balls like myself to get up in there. But Marvin Harrison, you talk about like the perfect combination of like talent and landing spot. Kyler Murray, top 8 quarterback in real life, top 5 fantasy quarterback. Trey McBride, the only guy maybe eating into targets. He was the first wide receiver taken in like a historic wide receiver draft because he is that dude. He's just such an easy fit. They're going to make it happen off the rip. I would do terrible, disgusting things to get Marvin Harrison Jr., and I recommend you all do the same.
I have him right there like the Larry Fitzgerald. Do you see him being for the Cardinals? And because I love me some Larry. I mean, look at Larry Fitz. I mean, how could you not like him with a smile, everything about him? But could you see Marvis like him being better, bigger, more loved than somebody like Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona? And have they have a player like that, big and with that much potential there in a while?
I'm very excited. I mean, it's hard as a Niners fan, but we also have so many other wide receivers in this division that are so talented. So it's about time the Cardinals found DeAndre Hopkins replacement and got someone in building. So good for them to start competing with the rest of their division, but they also got a long way to go before you start beating up on us. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're spicy though. Strong offensive line, quarterbacks getting healthy. They're bringing in some good pieces. They're going to be a fun offense. The defense is still like a mystery box. I don't know what the hell they're doing there, but you ask, can he be the next Larry Fitzgerald? I think that's the floor, and then where he wants to go from there is everything else. Just like a day one, let's do this. And I mean, to be taken ahead of Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze, like you mentioned. Them trading back at 4, like to speak to them not doing that and saying, no, we actually want this guy, doesn't just say how they view him, but kind of like what his absolute monster ceiling is. So sign me up.
Yeah, sign me up. I'm taking all of it. Give me Kyler Murray. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. I'll take Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm subscribing. Another guy who I would totally subscribe to because I don't know why I feel this is what I was thinking about. When I think about Malik Neighbors, I feel a little OBJ-ish because OBJ did have a good quarterback at once. Malik Neighbors doesn't. He's flashy. He went to the worst situation, in my opinion. And let's see, I don't know. If Danny Dimes is throwing to Neighbors, he ain't cashing any checks. I don't know. What do you guys think? Wait, real quick. I want to say this. I also feel like there's going to be controversy. He's going to be pissed because he's so good. He's not getting the ball because his quarterback sucks. Marvin Harrison Jr. is like his competition that they keep comparing him to. He's going to get fed the ball. So he's going to be traded in 2 years. Next Stephon Diggs right there. Neighbors, your opinion, anything?
Chuck, you want this one or you want me?
Yeah, I'll tee you up on this one because this one's pretty cut and dry. And me, like of all the wide receivers that were drafted, you're right, Yvette, in that the Giants are a mess. I don't really trust the direction the team is going. They've made some really odd choices. But you want to talk about like nobody is king of the castle more than Malik Neighbors is on the Giants right now. Like he is by far. Like he is a shining star. He casts a shadow so much over everybody else in comparison to, a lot of these other wide receivers have maybe 1 or 2 other guys on their team that are kind of fun. This Giants team is it's basically an island of misfit toys without him. The only thing we had to worry about was maybe 1 or 2 games that Darren Waller was going to decide to play this year, and he up and outed and retired. He's getting divorced. His life's falling apart. Who knows what the hell happened there? But that just means that our guy, look at this guy on the screen. He is built for New York. He is a beacon and he's going to just be taking Danny Dimes and Drew Lock house calls deep on the reg like Odell Beckham did. Eli Manning was not playing well when they acquired Odell Beckham, and he shot right to 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns like that.
Yeah.
All right.
What you're saying is this could be the guy that has the bad, there's always the guy with the bad quarterback that does good. And they're always like, who's going to be the guy with the bad quarterback? So you're saying it could be Neighbors because there's no one else.
Who? What do you think?
All right. So I was actually talking about this last night on IBT as well. And so, so we're serious about, like, Yvette's going to tell me that everyone on the Bengals stinks, but Chuck, you tell me because you're unbiased with it. If people are serious about Malik Neighbors being the second coming of Jamar Chase, how many people actually were so worried about Jamar Chase having Jake Browning as his quarterback the second half of the season that they sat him? Nobody did. Everyone believed the talent shined through. And Daniel Jones, as much as you want to hit on him, he is far better quarterback than Jake Browning is. So I'm not worried about it. You have playmakers that are actually going to complement Malik Neighbors in New York. They are some guys, but Jalen Hyatt, his speed, the fact that he's going to be like a cardio king, he'll be like a Gabe Davis, just his speed alone, running back and forth. He's going to be drawing attention while Malik Neighbors, his yak ability, he's going to be just drawing up plays out the middle. And you even have guys like Wan'Dale Robinson who are going to just be creating plays. So I'm more optimistic. I'm a sicko. Put me in timeout because I'm optimistic about the Giants this year. You got Brian Burns on defense. You got Malik Neighbors on offense. Steph, I'm in. Let's do it. Go Giants.
Yvette, I don't know if you have like the ability to blur somebody's face, but you might want to blur Hoov's face for the remainder of the show after what he just said. I'm going to say something you're going to love. You're going to love this. I dropped Jamar Chase last year after Joe Burrow went down. So there's a little Browns love for you. I wasn't playing that game, and I was better for it, and I won my league. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that get fucking nuts with it sometimes. It might pay off.
You have to. You got to. I think it's the only way to win now, And speaking of getting nuts with it, what a great segue. Because, wow.
Yes.
I mean, this probably took the cake. Atlanta taking quarterback Michael Penix after signing Kirk Cousins to what is $180 million deal, 4-year contract. And then signing Michael Penix. I so much to say about this. I don't even know.
The way that you just launched into that is so appropriate for the pick because it's like, what can be said about this pick that hasn't already been said about, like, I don't know, like Osama bin Laden? Like, it is horrible in every sense of the word. So they showed Bill Belichick's, when he was on the Pat McAfee show, they showed his big board, like his top ranked players, right? And it's pretty good at the top, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison, all these guys. And then you shoot down to 38 and you've got Michael Penix Jr. That just goes to show, like, this is an all-time – this isn't a head scratcher. This is an ass scratcher. I don't understand because you guys – let me ask you guys this. Like, they knew Michael Penix was going to be there well before free agency started, well before the season ended. Like, he was never going to be projected as a top 10 pick. So that means they gave Kirk Cousins this money knowing they were probably going to take Michael Penix Jr. if they liked him. And they didn't even tell him. I mean, it just reeks of a shoddily run operation. And I'm a Bucs fan, so I love seeing them, punch themselves in the nuts. But, like, you guys, like, are you disappointed in the Falcons? Are you happy to see a team shoot itself in the foot? Like, Hoov, where are you at with this?
On being in the media room, this was like the first, oh shit, we're in for it. Like, everyone's jaws, we're all like looking at each other. Oh, okay. Like, this is how the draft's going to go. And then Bo Nix happened at 12 and everyone was like, all right, fuck. All right, let's do it. So, but with this, I was with you until I watched a friend of mine, Lawrence Jackson's video when he was breaking it down and just like, it's such a different approach that I'm actually, I see I see the vision for it, and we don't really know like how Kirk Cousins' timeline is with his injury and where he's at with things. Is that we could be looking at it if Kirk Cousins, the way that this offense is so young, that if they're trying to develop this core together, we could be looking not at Michael Penix being the reach, is the reach being paying Kirk Cousins a 4-year contract and him not even being your franchise guy. That could be the hiccup with the Atlanta Falcons, because I wasn't as big on Michael Penix leading up to his pro day. And then his pro day, he really kind of flipped the script with me with just him showing that athleticism that he still had. Like the fact that he still had that mobility past 2 injuries. Like, in my opinion, I thought he was going to be like Jameis Winston at the NFL level if he didn't have that mobility, because he was going to be he has such a strong arm that he was going to be like so dependent on that arm talent. So I thought it was going to be Jameis Winston just throwing it up there, trying to get shit to happen. But now I saw a different element of Michael Penix. So I'm optimistic about it. Knowing his age, we know that he's going to get an opportunity sooner rather than later. I only hate it because it causes a controversy in your franchise. Because I'm a believer that if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have any. So until they get this figured out, it's confusing. But I can't be hateful on it until we see down the road where things lead. If this is like a Trey Lance situation and he never plays, like obviously this is dumb. But if Kirk Cousins isn't the guy, how can you really hate him for going and getting their guy in a stacked quarterback class when next year this class isn't going to hold up to this?
That's what bothers me, though, is that even if they didn't sign Kirk Cousins, I would have hated this pick. He is, because to me, truly, he is like a one. Like, you know, you're on a dance floor and somebody only has one move, no matter what the song is. Like that is Michael Penix. He throws the same ball no matter he's throwing 50 yards or 5, like almost like Will Levis. I just as a Bucks fan, I love the pick. What about you, Yvette? What kind of emotions did this make you feel deep down inside?
That's hating, man. That's fucking hating.
It made me feel a lot of emotions. I think that last year, what it made, what I'm thinking about. I think that this has taught us that the best job you can have in the NFL is to be a backup quarterback. I mean, first of all, the running backs are done. Nobody wants to be like the running backs don't even get drafted. Nobody even talks about it. Like the backup quarterback, like last year, how many quarterbacks did we lose? I mean, that was a very, very valuable position. Yeah. I think that I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and thinking, why would they spend so much money when they already had the insurance, which sounds stupid until Kirk Cousins goes down and Michael Penix balls out and we see that value in that pick, I don't know. I don't know. Like you could say, why didn't they get people for Kirk Cousins? I think history will have to play out. And I wish I could talk more about it because the only reason why I rushed that is because we're running out of time and I have so much more to talk about.
Got it.
So, which is like that's not a bad thing. I mean, but it's a good thing. I'm just going to run through these because I have them in another slide that I'm going to bring out.
Sure.
Don't worry. We'll give a chance to talk about them because this way I don't double dip on my slides. Obviously, okay, kind of ran through that one because he played for Michigan, So we kind of ran through that one, but we'll talk about him again. Bo Nix to the Denver Broncos. There's me and my friends there with a bunch of Cougars. Welcome to Cougarville. Got
Wait,
Zach
which one's Bo
Wilson,
Nix?
Exactly.
Which one's?
Yeah, it's this one. Oh, I pointed to at that one. Any quick things on Bo Nix?
You know that Bo Nix has the shortest. Bo Nix has the shortest name in NFL history, which is very apropos for what his playing career is going to be. Sadly,
5 letters. Yeah. Brock Bowers. I'm gonna bring Brock Bowers back out in another. I'm gonna talk about all these guys in the other slide because I can bring them in. This one says. What did I write on there? That's the worst freaking call. Give me a wide receiver because I think it's absolutely crazy that the Buffalo Bills handed the Kansas City Chiefs Pat Mahomes, and then I mean, not that they needed people, they give them the pick to pick up Xavier Worthy. Why? I don't get it. I mean, I guess I'd be so mad if I was a Bills fan.
Normally I would have to put my hater hat. Normally I would have to put my hater hat on, but I'm already wearing it. But I'll be nice for a second. I won't tear this poor kid Xavier Worthy apart. Maybe I'll save that for a little later.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Foreshadowing.
I'm gonna go through a draft a little bit more, and I'll speed us through this a little bit more. Let me turn this back. Did I go too fast? Okay, yeah, this one's really fast. This is a next portion that I entitled the Draftler, which is my play on The Bachelor, but with the draft picks, and it's
A plus. A plus.
This deflated football, ladies and gentlemen. So I just have a couple questions. 6 quarterbacks taken. We know what history is in NFL. Not all these guys are going to be studs. I mean, maybe 50%, maybe 25%, or maybe all of them. I don't know. Let me be optimistic. Let's say.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask you guys some questions based on these guys up there. For people that are watching, we have you guys can see them. Some of them look so much alike, and I think 2 of them have the same number, so that really confused me. But they're all 6 of them are there. So Chuck, I'm going to start with you. Out of these 6 quarterbacks here, who would you hand your deflated ball to? And because this is bougie sports, who do you think is going to be the bougiest out of those?
Who do I think is going to be the bougiest? Who's got swagger on 100,000 trillion is what you're asking me right now. I'm going to go with J.J. McCarthy because Caleb Williams, I don't know if he has swag. He is the guy. He's the quarterback I would give my deflated ball to. But if you're talking about, who's the mover and shaker, give me this Joe Burrow light coming out of Michigan going into an amazing situation in Minnesota. I think he's going to have – I think the only knock on him was that he doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the reps. Well, what reps he did have were pretty damn impressive. So I like the haircut. I like the number. I like the Harbaugh vibes. Everything about that I'm just feeling real strong about. So I don't give out a lot of deflated balls. The ladies know that pretty well. But in this situation, I don't mind. I don't mind doing it.
Okay.
God damn it. How am I supposed to follow that up?
Go ahead.
How am I supposed to follow that up? That's too good. I'm with you. I wish you took my pick, so I won't double down on it. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be the most successful quarterback in this draft. I don't think he's going to be the most talented. So I think this guy's bougie. I think that I didn't understand him until I realized I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm going with Caleb Williams. If he's going to get the Prince comp, come on. I had the Prince comp before everyone else. Everyone was saying, Hooves George Michael, Hooves Prince, Hooves this, that. All right. I painted nails before it was cool. And I'm going to go with Caleb Williams because I saw it. I watched him. He cares about people, just like the way that he was part of that Special Olympics event. I got to see the leader that he is and the way that he does it by example, the way that he doesn't care about people's opinions of others. He doesn't care about the opinions of others. He knows the only opinion that matters is himself. So kind of going back to the whole, why did the Bills trade with the Chiefs? It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. If you know that you're capable, it only bet on yourself. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. So Caleb Williams betting on himself. He knows himself. And ladies, any lady will tell you that a man that knows who he is the most attractive person in the world. Is that right, Yvette?
That's right. And he's definitely getting my deflated ball. For sure. I cannot wait. Bring it, Caleb Williams. To me, it's the runway now. Like on Sunday, it's a runway because they're bringing it. They're serving the drip. Am I not right? It's not just about walking in now. I mean, come on. You got to serve. And I cannot wait to see what Caleb Williams is going to serve up. And I'm certain that he's going to be coming in pretty stylish. I'm going to move on. And I'm going to start with you. Who are you going to get your deflated ball to having a celebrity type of relationship in the public with a scandalous relationship out of these guys?
Who's going to have a scandalous relationship in the public?
You know what I mean.
So,
you know what I mean. Yes.
So, let's go location. If
I got
I
one.
want it, if CJ Stroud, I just gave the CJ Stroud comp to Jaden, and CJ Stroud's with Amber Rose now, so it could be Jaden. He balls out. He could, I don't know. It's gonna be hard for Bo Nix to get scandalous over in Denver. So I don't know.
You don't even know how hard I got. You don't even take a second because you don't.
Who do you have, Chuck? Yeah, go for it.
I've got Jaden Daniels going to Washington D.C. and hooking up with AOC. It was a match made in heaven. There's no doubt about it. Now I don't know if she's in the older men. You could have maybe done the golden drafter, and this could have been Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. These guys are coming out. They're grandfathers basically in the NFL terms, but. I like Jaden Daniels to be seen at Momofuku in DC, going down on bao buns, and then taking home AOC later. And you guys can finish the rest.
What if JJ McCarthy is the man on the Minnesota Vikings that Lizzo was talking about?
Ooh,
so
that's a lot of woman.
That would be foreshadowing, right?
Yeah,
I like that.
One more question
I'm a Lizzo fan.
Who, this is the biggest question. Who are you giving your deflated ball to? I'm going to take Caleb Williams out of the situation. Let's just push Caleb Williams out of the rest, because Caleb Williams already took a deflated ball. He was on last season of the drafter, and he's married. Okay, so let's say that's over. Out of the guys that are left, who's going to be make the biggest impact on the NFL this year? Whoever wants.
Ooh, that's a good question. So who's going to have the biggest, basically the stamp on the NFL this year?
Who's the stud? Yes. Who's the stud?
It's Caleb.
Yeah. She took Caleb out of it though. You know what? You don't even have him on the screen, but I would have picked Spencer Rattler, quarterback, South Carolina, going to New Orleans. But you know what? He's a contestant for maybe season 2 of this. So let's go with the season 1 cast. I'm going to go with JJ McCarthy. I still think he's going to be the show. I think he's going to have a terrific, Baker Mayfield-esque rookie year where they're really going to set him up to succeed pretty well, pretty early. He just won the national championship, so he already has the cachet built in with, not just the diehard fans, but, the first takers, the casual sports fans. They have familiarity with him. He's got the hair. He's got the name. I don't know. He's got Jordan Jefferson just absolutely propping him up to areas that we thought unknown. I'm taking JJ. What about you, Hoov?
I'll take Jaden here. Like I was alluding to earlier, I feel like he's CJ Stroud without the mobility and without the offensive line. He'll still show that he is one hell of a pocket presence and a pocket passer as well. So I think that we're going to be looking at Jaden Daniels in that same tier, top 10 at the end of the year. So JJ McCarthy, as great as I think he's going to be, I think that's a long-term success plan for JJ McCarthy. Jaden Daniels, right off the bat, he's going to show some talent. I mean, look at how long people have been buying Kyle Pitts because of his rookie year. He showed talent.
Year this year, though, for sure.
Can't get through one podcast without hearing Kyle Pitts. That's smart in an election year. To take the guy playing in DC, you son of a bitch. That was a cheap move.
One thing about JJ. It's not fair because he has the hottest girls on his cast. It's obviously they're the easiest. So if anybody is going to get it in, it's going to be JJ. When you're throwing to Justin Jefferson, that changes it. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I can put JJ down a couple pegs. Because they're
I got you.
But we got to get through all these things. We got a couple more things. I'm going to get you guys through faster. This little theme is based on one of my favorite movies, Swingers. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. And I love me some Vince Vaughn. And he said in this movie, you're the money and you don't even know it. And I love that. Have you guys seen the Swingers? If not, you have to go watch it.
Oh, you're in my wheelhouse with Swingers right now. Don't even worry. Keep it going.
Oh my God. Okay. So we're just going to have to make this quick because Chuck might have a baby. That's actually true, which made that freaking meme even more hilarious. We have the same sense of humor. What kind of sense of humor is that? Sick? Anyways.
I'll back up sick, but in a good way.
Yeah, in a great way. So we're gonna talk about wait a minute. And another thing, I brought this about the running backs. We gotta give love to running backs because they're just nobody loves them anymore. Like I said, running backs are so out, backup quarterbacks are in. Running backs out, backup quarterbacks in. So let's bring them back, and you're the money and you don't even know it. Christian McCaffrey, always the money. Going up again. You guys, is he still the money this year? I mean, and let's compare. Okay, Christian McCaffrey is money. We're all going to say he's money. So we're going to compare him like to last year. Is he more money? You know what I mean? Because he is.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Hoov, you want to jump on it?
Yes.
Get back on it. Get back on it. All right. Yeah, he's still money. He's still money. Isaac Guerrero is not doing nothing. I think even there's rumors about Mitchell possibly, like, he's a candidate to be traded to the Cowboys, you know, to be the Yang to Zeke's Yang, however you word that. I don't know if there's any Yang left in Zeke, but there is possible that Elijah Mitchell is out of there, but still CMC, he's a dog. He's going to be getting it. He'll be all over San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that, and I'll go swingers with you. I'll go in swingers. He says, "Do you think we'll get there by midnight?" And he goes, "Baby, we'll be up 500 by midnight." And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about Christian McCaffrey, just bringing home the bag. They're trying to kill running back. They're doing everything they can, and this dude will not let it die. There's not a player in the league at any position, tight end, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, that I feel better about when he's on the field. He's a walking 20 points at minimum. He's my first overall, regardless of what happens with them trading Ayuk, trading Debo, it doesn't matter. Just bring him to my team at all hours of the night.
Cash.
And his brother, where did his brother go? I always think that's so weird. Like, talk about like fortune.
Commanders.
Like, you get one and then now you get another one. Are you kidding me? Where is he going? I'm sorry. I was talking.
Commanders.
Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
With Jaden Daniels.
There you
he's
go.
Going after he's going after Camilla Harris, I heard.
I was doing so good, you guys, with my slides. And then, and then this happened. Well, it's not too bad. Trey Benson, he's going to Arizona, correct?
Correct.
I think he's going. I know what I think. This is somebody to me. I'll just say real quick. Talk about some money. I think Connor. I don't know. I'm feeling Benson. I don't know. I feel like that might be a deep sleeper. Maybe not. What do you guys think? Money or no money?
You know what? He was my favorite running back coming out of the draft, and I like him long term. But like they've been trying to kill James Conner for years, and the dude will just not die. I still think he's going to cut into. He's always going to be the touchdown guy there. He's always going to be the red zone goal line guy, and I think that's the only thing that's going to like take away the opportunity for Benson to really break out. Luckily, what he's great at is explosive runs from distance, and so maybe he'll just find. Maybe he doesn't need goal line carries. Maybe he doesn't need 10, 20-yard rushes. Maybe he can take these house calls all the way there. And, like I mentioned earlier, they have a premium offensive line. They've invested in the position very well. And they still have a little bit more different ways they can go with that. I expect them to be in the red zone more often this year. So this does feel like a passing of the torch. I just don't know if it's going to be this year.
But when's the last time James Conner played a whole season?
He jams whole seasons into 11, 12 games. And so I got to give him some love for that. But you're not wrong.
Yeah.
For me, there's 4 running backs in this draft that I'm taking value. Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, and Marshawn Lloyd. And so with Trey Benson, I think that this is the Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery backfield. You're seeing the way that the NFL is transitioning. They want 2 backfields. Or they want 2 running backs in their backfield. And James Conner, I think that he's going to be your goal line guy, and Benson is going to be your explosive back. And eventually, into with James Conner's injury history, that it's just so much opportunity for Benson to even take on more in that workload. Because 1, they're going to try to prevent James Conner's injury, and then 2, if he actually does get hurt, he could be looking at a bell cow role for certain games throughout the season. So I'm in on Benson. there's other running backs that we can talk about. Brooks right here. This is your bell cow. This is 100% your bell cow. I'm cashing a first round ticket and rookie drafts on Brooks. No questions asked. Over some of these wide receivers, it's a question, but nothing. I'm not taking him over a Dunze, Neighbors, Harrison. But after that, I think you could talk me into over Worthy and all those guys. So Brooks, you always want young running backs on your dynasty teams. So Brooks turning 21 on June 21st, July 21st, I'm pretty sure. Man, can't get any better than that, especially when you know how Carolina can build a workhorse running back. So I'm in.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one. Whoever's the man there, and I think somebody is going to emerge, and it should be Brooks because they've run through. The owner's clearly tired of the rest of the players on the roster. Bringing in a fresh face. I like him to be a strong bell cow there, and I like him to get a strong bell cow workload early. And, they have to do everything they can to prove that the Bryce Young experiment, which it's crazy to even say first overall pick is an experiment, but to prove that it's not a failure. And so they invest in the offensive line. They bring in pass-catching weapons. They're going to limit his passing attempts, and they're going to make him more comfortable. Brooks is the perfect guy to do that with.
So no worries about him coming off an ACL?
None for me. No, I think they're going to be okay.
So we're giving them the money. So the next guy here I have, because I have one more slide, is Nick Chubb. And before you guys answer that, it's a psych because he's the money, and I would not even hear you guys say anything else. So it's all about the money. Stacks. That's my boy. I mean, come on. Let's pretend the injury didn't happen. I think he's going to come back. I think Nick Chubb is. I mean, I'm not a Browns fan or anything. I'm not biased at all.
Well,
okay. But that's my running back. That's my running back.
If you thought I was going to come on here and say a bad thing about Nick Chubb, you got the wrong idea of me. This is my guy right here. I have him. He's in my life insurance policy, if I'm not mistaken. He's a beautiful guy, and he runs well. And also, people, I don't know how much they've kind of forgotten about the injury. The injury turned out not to be as severe and career ending as it initially appeared to be. So how he's going to factor into the early part of the season, we can't really say right now, but optimistically, there's going to be a part of this Cleveland Browns season where they work him back into the mix. You bring Jameis Winston into the team. He turns everything into gold. I am ready. Don't believe I will be leaving a lot of my draft with Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I think that the Browns didn't have much draft capital to work with in general, but the fact that they didn't invest in a running back, I think that you have your answer on how good on the timeline for Nick Chubb. So I'm good. Yeah. I'm in. I don't know how much I'm going to ask of Nick Chubb this year, but it's not going to be the end of the world like everyone alluded to. Yeah, I think I'm more on draw 4, but that's for another day.
No, they brought in a bunch of guys in case that doesn't work out. Donta Foreman coming in. He's always good for 3 or 4 games where he'll bust 100 and maybe a touchdown or 2. But this is a team that's kind of on the hot seat, and I feel like that's probably a feeling you all feel there as well because they have the talent. They feel as if they've addressed the quarterback position. The defense is one of the best in the league, if not the best, when everybody's playing. They need to put some W's in the win column this year, and they need to win some playoff games. And the best way to do that is to have a healthy Nick Chubb.
You said they feel. How does Chuck feel about how good Deshaun Watson is?
I don't like to use the words "feel" and Deshaun Watson in the same sentence. Typically, I usually try to avoid that. I'm hoping for some Jameis Winston at some point this season. I'll be a happy guy. I'll be smiling.
Hey, this is
God sent him on a mission.
All I could say as Cleveland fans is that this is what I can say. We deserve a winning season. I just want us to win. Also Jameson, he might be the funniest guy. I'm going to meet him this year. If we all manifest it for me, I think it'll happen. Well, I said that about Joe Thomas, and it hasn't happened yet, but it's I'm still here. 2 beers.
Yeah, I'd rather
a little buzz. There was something else I wanted to say.
I'd rather be interviewing fish with Jameis Winston than having a beer with Joe Thomas. Give me that on the red.
Yeah, right. Since this was an extra show, I wanted to talk about LSU. But I'm going to wrap it up here for a second. I wanted to make sure there's a couple quick one more things in here that I want to ask you. Is it on this slide?
Cool.
Oh, here it is. Really quick, because this is about does the most. And Snapper. Okay, wait. Oh gosh, I was doing so good. I just said I was doing so good.
You made all these lovely graphics and you want to show us.
All right, let's just talk about this because it's up. Who do you think did the most? Did Kansas City do the most by taking Xavier Worthy because maybe Ray Rice might be in some trouble there, or did Chicago do the most when they took Keenan Allen in the free agency and then picked up Rome and didn't say? I kind of think I know the answer.
I would say I don't love what the Chiefs did. I get the idea, but this isn't a team that's really, they clean up messes that they make. They need to fix wide receiver because they drafted Mecole Hardman over DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin and Deontay Johnson. They need to fix receiver because they traded for Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. Rashee Rice is, a talented player, but he's in a little bit of trouble. So, this is a small guy who can be taken out of plays pretty easily. He does get the fast track playing with Patrick Mahomes. But they just, they like to go to who the defense isn't thinking about. And they're going to be thinking about Xavier Worthy. So I don't exactly love the fit here.
No.
I don't love the Chiefs draft.
Love it.
I don't love the Chiefs draft at all. Like, if I don't think that there was a team that really had a bad draft. Like, look at all 7 rounds. Yeah. I don't think that there was a bad draft. There was bad picks, but if I had to look like 5 teams, the Chiefs would be barely scraping outside of that list for like bad drafts. So like the pick was okay. To me, they're resembling, like I was alluding to earlier about how some teams are going for the Seahawks wide receiver room. Well, it seems like the Chiefs are going after the Dolphins wide receiver room, as they're going to have Hollywood. Yeah. They're going to have speed on both sides. They want Hollywood, and then they want Worthy. But with Rice, like if he's actually going to be serving a half a year suspension, he's the guy that plays the most Patrick Mahomes style football. So there's still so much value with when Rice comes back that Worthy. The speedy receivers, we just saw how cold it gets in Kansas City in the wintertime. So how fast can you really be in December? So is Worthy a league winner? I'm not sure, but there will be so much value that he can put out for your fantasy team throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I just see okay, first of all, a couple quick things. I always say that one more thing, and I could talk forever. I was waiting for this because I love this. Is the best, isn't it? Just to be able to talk about this stuff, and I've been waiting to talk about it. So many things have gone through my mind. It's just funny because I always say I'm a fan, and I love. There's different types of fan hate I have. So for Pat Mahomes, I hate his face and his voice and everything like that. But it's a different hate. It's not like I hate Steelers hate. It's like you're so freaking I hate you. Like from a fan, like. Where you want to be hated, like of course, that's that kind of hate. But I really do like him. I'd still draft him and stuff like that. So to see him, maybe like it. Yes, I don't know.
I've lost 2 Super Bowls to him. I'm hurt.
I know, but he, whatever. And Pat Mahomes is a quarterback that sat, a year. And I think that's interesting to see what quarterbacks are going to sit. A couple other slides that I had on there is who does the most. And when I had something for every city, but I think I do the most, to be honest, because I try to think about so many things for these podcasts, and I feel like I never have enough. And I have like 4 more slides on here. So now I think I'm going to give myself a little bit more time, because now I see how much it takes. But I did have a slide for every city in the draft on who did the most. And I had on there for Chicago real quick. I had Michael Jordan and Walter Payton on who do you think the most there. So I'd like to hear that answer. And also, see if you can do a double answer for Chicago as well. So we'll just start there. I had the deep dish pizza versus the Chicago style hot dog, because I think both of them do too much. So I wanted to know, out of those 2 Chicago things, who do you guys think do the most? and double package.
Michael Jordan has done more than anybody ever. Sports or not sports. So I'll take Michael Jordan in that one. Then I'll take Chicago hot dogs. I anticipate a similar response from you.
MJ, like I'm a Nike guy. I worked at Nike for 2.5 years, and just like hearing the stories of Michael Jordan, and everyone watched The Last Dance, so you know how extra Michael Jordan is. He does the most. Like everything he does the most. So MJ's your answer there. Walter's great, but you could say Barry did the most. You could say a lot of running backs. You could say Emmitt Smith did the most, you know. But there's no Michael Jordan. There's no Michael Jordan. I'm not LeBron. I'm a Michael Jordan guy. He is le GOAT. Okay.
Well, no, come on.
I've never tried a deep dish, so I can't. The closest thing I've ever had is Rocky Coco. So maybe I need to get my ass down to Chicago and try it. I have been to Wrigley back when they had the trough, like. If you know, you know. At Ridley before they took it off. Back when they had that, so like I've tried the dogs at Ridley, and I don't like I don't like all the extra stuff on a hot dog. I'm very basic. Just give me ketchup. So I'll go with the hot dog.
Easy Clutch.
Peasy.
Wait a minute. You're a liar, Face. You're definitely not basic. You're definitely not basic. But when it comes to maybe hot dogs, you are. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe it, you guys. It's so late. It's 6:21. This might be my longest podcast I've ever done, and I have so much more. Like 5 more slides, you guys. Like it was amazing. Thank you guys.
What about that T-shirt? Who's gonna win that T-shirt? Homage.
Oh my God, thank you for saying that. Homage, and we're gonna give away 2 T-shirts. You have to be full.
Clutch.
Why don't you guys help me pick a number? Let's see. We'll pick a number from 1 to something. I'm gonna go into my Bougie Sports page here. This is what I'll do.
Michael Jordan said.
He
said, "I never lost a game. I just ran out of time." That's the best quote ever.
That's doing the most.
I mean, that is the most. That is the most. All right, so let's see how many followers I have on our 790. All right. Oh my God, you know what this reminds me of? You guys, Regis and Kelly, when you had to pick a number from 1 to whatever, and that's who I was sitting in the audience. Or I said Regis and Kelly. That's so old. I think it's been
love Regis.
Kelly and who?
Yeah, I love Regis too. That's great. You're talking to the right people.
Regis Philbin fan club right over here.
Yes.
Regis crew.
It'll always be Regis. It'll always be Regis.
I love Michael and Kelly is good, but Regis was
it's not the same.
But she's like with her husband now too. I think, or like Mark. It's like, is it Kelly and Mark now? Maybe Kelly and Mark. We didn't even get to talk about Brock Bowers at all. Like
we'll save them for round 2.
We'll save that for round 2. Yes, we do. Well, I don't know what made me think of Brock Bowers. I think this thing was Vegas, and I don't know. Everything was.
Viva Las Vegas.
Woo!
Viva
we're having my party for my 500 subscribers.
That's right. So subscribe, like, comment, subscribe to Bougie Sports.
Yes.
This is your boy Hoove.
Yes. I will. Oh my God, how cool would that be? I would do something like that. Like if I would. I mean, I'm not extra at all, but if I was extra. What was I writing down? I have in my hands.
Homage numbers.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Give me a number from. There's 790. I have 790 followers on my Bougie Sports page. Thank you guys so much. I just love that. So you guys both give me a number. Then when I get off, I'll go and I'll count, and those will be my 2 random from 1 to 790. How's that? Pick 2.
69.
Woo! That's extra.
And then the BS in the corner is giving me 85 vibes. So I'm gonna go with 85.
Yeah. Smooth.
Okay, you guys. And I will announce this. I will announce, I'll go look and I will get your information and we'll send you out an homage tee of your choice. How cool is that? I mean, they have the coolest clothes. So I hope it's a Browns fan and they get the Angry Runs t-shirt. It'll probably be a Runs.
That would be sweet.
You guys,
this was a blast.
Thank you so much.
This was a lot of fun.
I'm so happy. Please follow both of my guests. As you can see, I don't know if they're Chuck Bass and HoovTube. You can find Chuck on YouTube, just like me, by following. And when he pops up, This guy sucks. So fun. I was on his podcast, and you can find that on there. And we drafted the worst fan bases in the NFL, and the Steelers were number one. Everybody wanted the Steelers, and we were like all fighting because nobody likes them. And I was like, oh my god, like that's my team to hate. It was just like a crazy name. It's all about hating the Steelers.
You also drafted the Browns, so let's not forget that part.
I did, because if anyone's going to talk crap about me and the Browns, it's going to be us. We like to talk shit about our own selves, you know? And one more quick, I'm glad you said that, and then I'll get to you. Browns fans and people that like the Browns, I think it's funny, and I just wanted to say my point on here. I was very happy to not have a draft pick in the first round, and I'll tell you why. I've been a Browns fan just like everybody else forever, and to me, that contributes to being awful, sucking, like wishing. And when you get that first round draft pick, that doesn't mean anything. That's a gamble. Like, and as Browns fans, we should know that, Johnny Manziel. Like, I'm just saying, you know, we don't know what we're going to get, you know. So
you're loaded. I get it.
Yes, it's nice to not have a first. I almost felt like a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Like, oh, you're on the draft today, Thursday night. Oh, okay. No, we're not. I'm in the Browns fan.
Oh, no,
we're fine. Yeah. That's how I felt. You know. That's how I felt.
You could honestly spin that as like your roster is so talented that whoever you drafted would have just been an insult to one of your players on your team. That's how you can spin zone that.
I mean, it's just be like paid them $230 million for nothing. You know, it'd be like something funny like that.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? It would just be hilarious. But also, HoovTube, IBT Media. Thank you so much for coming. What days does your show come on? You guys come on all week, don't you, or different times?
We're on Tuesdays. Tuesday nights. We have so many different. We have so many different things on IBT. But the show that I'm on Tuesday nights, 8:30 Central. So if you guys are up on Tuesday nights, you guys don't need to watch. NXT. Come on over. You guys can watch IBT. We're going to be breaking it down, but we have golf content. We have NASCAR content throughout the week as well. So many cool things. We got entertainment pieces on our website. So many cool things. And while I got the mic, I might as well give a little shout out. You guys are going to be in Canton, Ohio in August. Make sure you guys go ahead and buy your tickets to Draft Night Out. Come hang out. IBT is putting together a huge party at the Brew Kettle right next to the Hall of Fame. And we're going to be doing so many drafts. We're expanding it based on the success of last year. We got regular leagues with draft boards. We got standing leagues. If you want to do it via mobile, or otherwise, if you want to just buy a ticket and come hang out, you got that too. So come hang out with the IBT crew August on Saturday.
August 9th. What's the date again? August. It's the 8th.
You know, I should have looked it up before I started.
It's like the 9th through. I think it's like the 9th through the 11th that weekend.
So it's probably
you guys, Canton, Ohio. This is what I think when you said that. I'm like, we're Ohioans. Canton, Ohio, right in Canton, Ohio. We have the Fantasy Football Expo. Everybody comes. Like, we'll all be there, and it's so fun. You network. It's right in our backyard. Amazing. You go to the Hall of Fame, and the best people in the fantasy football community.
It's a bash.
That's a great. It's such a fun time. It really is. I mean, nobody drinks there. Everybody just hangs out. Like, it's like really chill.
Very scholarly.
Yeah, I'm sure people believe that. There was another thing that was in my head when you were talking. I mean, what were we talking about before the fantasy football draft? IBT Media.
IBT, they were crushing it, turning it up. Golf, NASCAR, all the big hits.
And that's all I needed to know, because I wanted to say two things. IBT, yeah, you know me. You down with IBT? Yeah, you know me. And Kentucky Derby's this week, and I seen a meme, Chuck, and it said, every time I see Kentucky Derby, I think of Amish NASCAR, and I think that's so funny. So you said NASCAR and those were the two things that got in my head. And speaking of Kentucky Derby, you guys, this week, May 4th, I will be at my friend's house. They have a huge Kentucky Derby party. We do the whole part. We bet.
Nice.
Everybody's going to be dressed up, and I might throw a couple pictures on social media. Maybe, if I feel like
pictures or pictures.
I mean, like a freaking like the whole day is gonna be documented. You know that? I mean, what else do people have to do on social media? You know, it's like
Nothing better than that.
Talk shit.
Yeah, they're gonna be bored. It's either seeing my Kentucky Derby pictures or what, you know. So that's this Saturday.
That'll be pro awesome. Tip: throw some money on Fierceness on the Derby. Fierceness. Remember that name.
What a great name. I mean, Fierceness.
Bingo.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely.
And then again, May 11th, you guys, West Bay Golf Club. I already said that. Catch these two guys on YouTube, and I think that's all we have for you guys. Keep it classy.
I love it. Thank you again so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you guys, and you guys will all be at the draft, right? I mean, at the expo.
Yes, I'm already there.
I mean, come see us at the expo, guys. All right, bye, guys. You guys wait for a second so I can say bye. You guys, bye.
VIPs only for this next